Ladies and gentlemen, this could be a real adventure, for this is a Fred the Alien Productions podcast.
We're
What's been
going on
fake
an
this whole time?
adventure.
We're going on an adventure. What did you say, Fulya?
It's been fake this whole time?
It's been fake.
Totally
yeah,
fake. Totally fake.
only fake adventures previously. It's all real now. Shit just got real. Because we're cueing the music.
We are.
I don't know what we're yelling about! We came, we saw, we kicked its ass!
Wait a minute. Doc. Are you telling me you built a time machine? Kind of a DeLorean?
The way I see it, if you're gonna build a time machine into a car, why not do it some style?
Who is this? What's your operating number?
Boring conversation anyway.
Whoa, we're gonna have company! Loud noises!
Chick 1 2.
Hello.
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 I'm a Kendall Richardson.
I'm a Fulya and
And I have never been to New York, so you can't pin it on me, Michael Lister.
Okay.
Wow. And you are definitely now experiencing a podcast called Fred.
Yes, experiencing it through the mediums of, ooh, look at that. Eat the rich. Sorry, no politics here, no politics here.
I'm so confused.
That's
It's wonderful.
Maybe I don't need to know. It's fine.
Yeah, it's alright.
It's fine.
It's
Don't
just,
even.
you know, Project Mayhem next year. Woo! Diddle-diddle-diddle.
Yeah. But yes, this is a podcast of pure escapism.
Yeah.
We-
Welcome to the
we-
distraction.
Yeah, it was the distraction, exactly. What a throwback. Yes. Yes, we're going to talk about stuff that we love, and we hope you love what we talk about, to, you know, distract you
Yeah.
from real life. So we're going to kick things off as we do every week with our weekly watchings, starting with the wonderful Fulya, who is back this week. Wonderful.
Yes.
She's back. She's back. She's back.
She's back. What have you been watching?
So, I finished off Delicious in Dungeon, season 1 complete.
Lovely.
It'd be really cool to know whether I don't know if there's going to be a season 2. There might be, but sounds like, you know, it could have just, you know, ended, and you could kind of like an open ending, you know. So it could potentially continue, but even if they didn't, then you'd still be okay with the way it finished. So yeah, it's a really good anime. I actually really enjoyed it. It's good fun. Learned a lot about the characters. It's really cool.
And it's your foray into D&D.
I also have finished the first season of Home Improvement. Just been having it sort of play whenever I'm just like either eating dinner or just doing something else, sort of in the background kind of thing.
Working on your car in your garage.
Yeah, that's totally what I do. 100%.
Complete motorhead.
I don't know how he does the laugh. I can never get the laugh right, but you know.
You need to be man.
Man, okay, yes.
Oh, man.
I think
the wife does it too.
I don't remember. Look, it's been a million years since I watched any Home Improvement, but who laughs like that? Tim, really? Tim the Toolman Taylor laughs like that?
Oh no! I killed Wilson. Back to jail for me.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it's a nice sort of thing to kind of look back on, and yeah, a lot of the jokes don't really age well, but you know, it was of its time.
Yes.
So we'll put it that way. I also had the opportunity to watch Is It Cake Holiday. So it's the holiday special for Is It Cake on Netflix, and it's 4 episodes, very sort of quick one. And it was good fun. Really enjoyed it. Watching all these people make these hyper-realistic cakes in Christmas theme. And my goodness, like, it's so awesome. So cool. And you look at that stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to eat the cake. I just want to let it sit there, look like it's decoration and stuff. It's just insane. Like someone did an ice skate, someone made snow boots, someone made a Christmas wreath that looked like was able to fool the judges. It was last episode. They had Terry Crews on as a judge, and it was awesome.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. Terry Crews and I think Tiffany Haddish. Yeah. It was really cool. And the last thing I'll mention is something that I have put off quite a bit, but considering that season 3 is on its way, I have watched season 2 of What If.
Hey,
What?
let's go.
Yes. Actually pretty happy that I decided to jump back into it. The animation still holds up, and the stories were actually really cool. I actually really did like what stories they told us for this particular season. I think Peggy Carter got quite a bit more sort of screen time for this season as well, so that was cool. And yeah, and then meeting, and just this one episode where it was just, it's not even in English, that had, oh, what was the character's name? I've completely forgotten already. I think
Wait
it
a
starts
second.
with a H or an A. Oh my god.
Is it the new character they introduced?
Yes.
That they
yes.
invented for
Yes.
the show.
The native, the I think it was like
Yes.
the Native American.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was very, very cool.
Yeah.
I've also forgotten her name, but yeah, that was a good episode, wasn't it?
It was such a good episode, and I really it really forced me to actually sit and pay attention to the episode like properly, because otherwise I'm not gonna understand what the hell's going on in the language, because I don't know the language.
Wait.
But there was also, the also Kaori.
Yeah. Or is it
Kahori.
is that Kahori?
Kahori, I think.
Kahori.
Kahori, because there's 2 H's.
Okay.
Kahori, I think it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, she was a fascinating character. She really was. And she stood up for her people. She wanted to be the hero of her people, who were always being, there was always war and ravaging happening in her village from the Spaniards. And yeah, it was really fascinating to sort of to watch that all come through, and how she ended up getting her through the Tesseract, and that was fascinating as well. So I really enjoyed watching that particular episode. It was really good.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, I think, if Hella finding the 10 rings,
Yeah.
that episode where she decides instead of being evil, she turns to the good side, the light side. That was also fascinating to witness. For a second, I didn't think that it was Cate Blanchett, because the voice just sounded just that little bit different, but actually still her. So that was really cool to discover. And yeah, no, that episode also had me thinking, oh my goodness, like, yeah, what if she didn't end up getting sent to hell and like getting locked away? That would have been really awesome if that was the actual thing. Instead of it being Thor, it was Hela.
Yeah.
That got banished by Odin. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. I really enjoyed that episode too. So I think it was, and they were like back to back. So it's episode 6 and 7. They were like my 2 favorites out of the whole season. It was also interesting to see Tony Stark in some of the episodes, where, especially if the episode "What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602."
That was a great one.
That was a really good one too. And seeing Loki up there, reciting Hamlet.
I was so happy hearing Tom Hiddleston recite Shakespeare as Loki. Mwah.
It's so
Mwah. Perfect. Perfect.
Ladies man.
Yeah.
Poser.
Yeah, no, but a lot of these were really fascinating sort of just episodes. What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas ends up turning into the Purple Hulk?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was actually quite funny. I really like that. And I also really enjoyed learning more about like what if Iron Man crashed into the Grandmaster. Like that episode just had me laughing a lot, but also the fact that Jeff Goldblum just ate up that particular episode so much. I swear he would have had so much fun being that evil, conniving, sort of mustache twirling kind of villain, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Yeah.
So that was entertaining for me. But yeah, no, What If season 2, really good. I'm glad I managed to get around to watching it. Prepared for season 3 when that comes out, which will be week of Christmas, right?
Something like that.
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
should be good. Yeah, December 22.
Yep.
Will be the first episode.
2 weeks.
Yeah. So
Two
looking forward to
weeks.
checking it out. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I've watched this past week. I mean, it does like not many, but it's still a nice amount of watching. So I'm happy. I'm happy I
Good.
got to get through some stuff.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for sharing. That's awesome. Mike, what about you?
Hello. Well, speaking of which, the What If, I've been rewatching the What Ifs. I've been doing one episode a day until the new one comes out. So, what am I?
Kind of like your own little 25 days till Christmas kind of thing.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm up to the 6th one. And yeah, it's a good little refresher, as well as just rewatching some of the episodes that I vaguely remember and also enjoyed some of the ones. Like I've done the Sorcerers, the Sinister Strange one, which still is good. Like if trying to change the world, trying to change his timeline, and then the universe just collapse onto itself, and just speaking out in the voids of saying I'm sorry, still haunts, and
Yeah.
and then what happens at the
Incredible.
end. So that's been good, and also the and also if T'Challa was captured by Yondu, that's always a good one.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, that's a good one. And just hearing Chadwick Boseman again.
Yeah.
Bitter and sweet.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
But having said that, yeah, I've been doing my watchings of Critical Role. I'm up to episode 61 now, so more than halfway. So a bit more to go. They're in the fair realm at the moment, and they're just they're just dicking around in there. So, and I'm happy that they've cut a lot of stuff from the show, but there's certain ones that are pretty sweet, like Vex learns speak to animals, so she got to speak to Trinket for the first time, and it was kind of sweet. I thought, oh, that's so cute. It's a woman and a bear that she raised as a cub. It's like, oh, that's sweet. It's like, do you like being in the locket? It's okay. And Matt Mercer's doing Tricket's voice, and it's like, ah, that's nice. But
Cute.
still, nothing can beat Cheech from Cheech and Chong doing the voice of Trinket in the TV show.
Yeah.
It's when they were in the fair realm and they were tripping balls. So I haven't got up to that episode yet. So yeah, they're sort of mixing around like the storylines. So and it's pretty good. It's a good little thing to watch and listen at the same time, so I don't have to keep my full attention to it. But it's good. Yes. New episodes of What We Do in the Shadows. Still good, still awesome. This week's episode is a hoot and a holler. They're doing their rendition of the of the Warriors movie. Great, so great. All these different types of vampires, which is nice. And Leslie gets another line wedged in there as well from Democracy Manifest, which is so good. So he's doing more. Hopefully they will continue until the end of the show. End of the show.
Yeah.
And the Baron comes back, which is great. Always good to see the Baron back.
Yes.
What else? I've got my list here, so what have I got? With my Defenders, I've knocked a couple more off. I've completely finished the Daredevil Season 1, which is good. So great. I wish I watched it sooner. And I've halfway through Jessica Jones now, Season 1.
Hey.
Bit of a weird one for a rewatch because my tastes in shows are different, and I don't know if I still like it, which is weird.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, certain choices that characters do is like, oh, don't do that. And like, I watched it ages ago, so I probably can't remember anything about it. But the choices that certain characters do, and it definitely feels like it's before like the Me Too movement, and it has that feel of, are we still writing femme fatales this way? Ew.
Right.
Don't, meh. My feminist in me is going, no. I keep a feminist in me. I keep her in a cage. Sorry, that's a Tim Minchin joke. Or there's a Bill Bailey one. It's like a woman came out of a manhole and she didn't like that. Yeah, so a bit weird. A bit weird of a rewatching now that my sensitivities are definitely changed and my philosophy. Yeah, definitely an interesting rewatch, but still good nonetheless. And I think I mostly watched it because it's got David Tennant in it, and he's always good. He's a good sinister character, and I think I just watched it because, you know, Doctor Who and all that is, what is he going to do after Doctor Who? Because it's on the cusp of him leaving Doctor Who, and yeah, and I probably didn't really pay attention until now, and I was like, okay. And there's a lot of sex in it. I forgot, or I didn't notice. I think it's because I've been watching a lot of Marvel stuff. I don't know. I don't know. I think I forgot.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Pretty much, and I've been watching like What If as well. It's like, well, this is not what's in What If, and it's the same universe apparently. So. A lot of swearing, a lot of shits, and also I forgot that they couldn't really mention like particulars in the universe. So the incident has been named the incident as in Avengers 1.
Yes, correct. Yes.
And also gifted people.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is a time capsule in itself.
Yeah, I was literally going to say time capsule. Yes.
So who knows? This will probably open the floodgates of like bringing back those characters, especially with Born Again around the corner. Yeah, it was a nice surprise and a nice detour from a different part of the MCU, of it being sort of not part of it but part of it, as well. And I think this is also sort of the same sort of not talking about it, but talking about it in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as well, which I haven't seen and I'll probably never see.
One day, Mike.
One
day
day
you will.
When it starts becoming canon, then I'll. I don't know if Coulson comes back in Secret Wars or anything like that. Maybe it's just an army of Coulsons.
That'd be sick.
Of variants of Coulsons. Yeah, so that's cool. And after that, season 2 of Daredevil, which I can't wait because out of the two that I've seen, Daredevil's my favourite. Which, here nor there. Yeah, and I think that's what I've been watching. As well as other stuff that we're about to talk about later on. But that's for later on. What about you, Kendall? Cool. What about you latering on?
What about me latering on?
What will you be watching instead of what have you been watching?
It kind of works because the three things I'm going to talk about are all TV shows. And they're all things I will be continually watching because I haven't finished binging a certain thing on Netflix yet.
Yep.
And the other two are airing weekly. So yes. So it works. Cool.
I work.
You work.
I work this time.
You work this time. Yeah, so the first thing I'll talk about, because Mike brought it up, What We Do in the Shadows. Last week's episode might be my favorite of the season so far. Maybe. Off the top of my head, it gave me the most joy. Just this, I love when I love our core vampire group, because they're just all fucking amazing. But I love seeing them interact with other vampires and seeing what happens and what the vampire community of Greater New York and New Jersey and all that, that area, or what it's like. So it's fun seeing that get together, and then when things did not go at all the way, I didn't expect such a left turn, but I was howling.
I knew they weren't going to follow through with a narrative of the season, and it just clinged it there. It's
perfect.
Oh, are they going to up Revel because they introduced a character early on and then bring him back, and it's oh no, his head's been crushed.
Yeah. that was there's nothing like a sudden shocking death in a show or a movie to really just pull the rug out and make you go, oh, this is awesome. I have no idea what's happening now. This is just great.
Like a fucking watermelon.
Yeah. It was unbelievable. But it was so funny the way that whole sequence played out, with him, and the Baron going back and forth of, one's trying to start an uprising, the other's how dare you? I'm here to get an award. And it's no, the award is not a real thing. And then, yes, seeing all the different vampire groups and gangs, all the sort of the scene in Mean Girls where Katie gets introduced to all the different cliques and their names. It kind of has that vibe of these are these vampires from these are the punk vampires. These are the school vampires, actually in school still. These are this type and this type and this type. It's just very funny. And then I think you, Mike, I imagine you probably agree, the scene with the breakdancing vampires. So good. Oh, and I really enjoyed Nadja and Laszlo's kind of couple dispute that they were having and how it kind of played out in that scene and then continued on. But it was just so funny. But my favorite moment in that episode was right near the end, they fucking got Alexander Skarsgård to appear as Eric, I suppose, from True Blood. I know all the other actors that have played vampires go by their real name. I'm pretty sure from memory. In the when they do the vampire council meeting back in season 1.
Yeah,
classic episode.
And
so he probably would have been.
And Wesley on Zoom.
Yeah, Wesley's zooming in. God, that still holds up to this day. Alexander Skarsgård rocking up and then seeing him scared shitless. Oh my God. I'm good. I'm gonna shut up.
You
Please,
you answered
yeah.
my question, so.
Yeah. I died. I thought it was amazing. Yeah. So yeah, I really liked it. We've only got 2 more episodes left, and then it's over. I'm so sad.
Hmm.
Oh well, there'll be rewatches.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, the next thing I'll segue into, is a new series that just started. And Mike, I'm sure you just haven't gotten around to it because you've been fucking watching everything else. um, um, tonight I watched the first 2 episodes of Creature Commandos.
I have seen those 2.
Oh, you have. Wonderful.
It was underneath my card, yeah, because 2 of them came out at the same time. So
They did.
I thought,
Yes.
you know what, I need a break, and I watched it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
So good. I need more immediately in my veins. This show is excellent. James Gunn is just continuing to be a revelation in the DC world, I think. So I'm because this is officially the first DCU project as well. So I guess
Loosey goosey.
Loosey goosey.
It takes place after the Suicide Squad,
Yes,
and also
yes.
after Peacemaker
season 1.
1.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, I liked how they sort of dropped in without it like rubbing it in your face. Like it was written very well to explain where we are in the universe. What time period is this? Because I was trying to put together. I'm like, is this set years ago? Because we've got Rick Flag Senior here, and then no, he just had his son at a really young age, and he's just probably in his mid-50s and still looking jacked and ripped. And
like,
then
how old's Weasel?
Yeah.
It's like, it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fantastic. Alan Tudyk's here, of course, because it's an animated project, and what would one be without the great Alan Tudyk?
And a DC project as well.
Yes, in the DC project. Yeah. Another one. Yeah, he's great as Dr. Phosphorus. I really enjoying his wit and his sass and his sarcasm. It's very funny.
And he's not
really
doing a British person voice, which I
No,
appreciate.
he's doing same. He's doing his American accent.
He's Wesselton.
Yeah, I really liked. Yeah, I like all these characters. They're just very, very good. I like this. I like the second episode a lot, getting to learn the backstory of the bride. And I'm not really familiar with any of these characters in the comics canon at all. So I don't know. I'm sure it's pretty faithful, but I'm not sure. But just in terms of as a casual DC, well, I'm not casual, but I don't read comics anyway. If somebody doesn't know,
I watch TV shows and movies. I don't read comics. Too nerdy.
Yeah. No, not too nerdy. Not too nerdy.
I don't read comics. I read manga.
I've manga.
One
Piece.
One
Nice.
Piece.
One Piece. Anywho's,
it's in
my
multiple
point
pieces.
was. My point was, I've almost lost my point because I got distracted. I like seeing a take on the Bride of Frankenstein as someone who is not in love with Frankenstein's monster. Like it's like they're made for each other. But I'm guessing Bride of Frankenstein might be. I've just realized in this moment that this is actually the way the story is. She falls in love with the creator. Is that? I'm guessing that's correct. Maybe or not.
I think.
Because now I'm like doubting myself. I was like, I thought Frankenstein and the Bride were just supposed to be Frankenstein's monster and the Bride were supposed to be a thing.
The creature. David Harbour.
Yeah.
If memory serves, I think in the book, originally the Bride was Victor's fiance, wife,
Right.
and reanimated the corpse but yeah, and she didn't. Yeah, so basically it was like a love circle until
Right.
the creature killed the bride in the book, but in the movie it's different.
Yeah.
It's ages
Yeah,
since I've delved into that.
Yeah, I've never really. I'm very familiar with the Frankenstein, the original novel and that story, but not the bride so much. But anyway, I liked what they did here. Is really what I should be saying, because it was a really kind of heartbreaking story, and just to see that Frankenstein's monster, played great by David Harbour, as you just mentioned, Mike. You know, he is just so blinded and consumed with, I must be allowed to love, and I love her. I don't care if she doesn't love me back. She's going to love me back, and I'm going to remove any threat that stands in our way. And even if that means killing the man that she loves. So, you know.
My love
and
is
then,
pure.
Yeah, and then they're fighting each other throughout time and stuff. And it's just, yeah,
And
it's really cool.
And the subtle cameo of Shaggy from Scooby Doo.
Oh yeah, I miss that, but that.
So
you know,
did I.
I'm just gonna take your word for it.
It was like one frame, basically, when they were doing that huge montage, and people saw her in the back, and it's like, that looks a lot like Shaggy from Scooby Doo, smoking a joint. So
amazing,
on par,
as he should be,
Because you know the story of James Gunn with Scooby Doo.
Yeah, well, yeah, he wrote the first live action film that came out like 20 years ago. Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he tried to put in that joke of Shaggy and Scooby like getting high on the beaches.
Yeah. But
no, it's apparently a cook-off. Smoke billowing from the van.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, ooh, eggplant burgers.
Excuse me. It's fantastic. Well done, James Gunn. Keep up the good work. I'm really liking this show. It's very good. So I'm excited for more Creature Commandos. And then the last thing I'll talk about. I finally had some time to watch some more. I didn't finish it, but I watched some more of Arcane Season 2. Did 4 more episodes last week, so we've only, as it stands, we only have 3 episodes to go.
So you've done the first 2 acts.
So I've completed the first 2 acts, and I've just started, or maybe yeah, sorry, you're right. Yes, I have completed the first 2 acts.
So 333.
Yeah. 333. Yes. Sorry, I didn't watch them in blocks of 3 though, so I think that's where my brain just short-circuited. Anywho, fuck me, this show.
Now do you understand?
I've had a feeling.
Outburst.
Yes, I had a feeling your outburst was the ending of Act 2, that last episode. Because I don't have words for how incredible it was. Just the way everything came to, and like my friends I was watching it with, they hadn't watched it yet either, so we were all watching it together for the first time, and like commenting on how like the show really seems to effortlessly bring characters into the one place. Their storylines are not really connected, but now they are, and here they are in the same spot, and everything just goes to shit in the most epic and tragic and heartbreaking and incredible way. And we were all bucketing, crying, like, Jesus Christ. I can't believe they reunited the family and then took Vander away again. I was like, oh, this is just not cool. It's not great.
And someone else.
And someone, yeah. And we lost Victor. And we lost the new favorite little character, Jinx's little mini-me. Isha. Fucking hell. Like, one of my mates said that she was probably not gonna make the end of the show, I was like, they're not going to kill a little girl, surely not, and they did. But she sacrificed herself for what she believed in, and to save the person she believed in the most, which was Jinx, and it was just
Fridging.
the way that scene came together, and I can't handle it. Yeah, it's great. It's really great. There's more I could talk about with this, but I'm just that's pretty much the pinnacle. I mean, it's the highest. That was the highest rated episode of the whole series, 1 and 2. 9.8 on IMDb. If that gives anyone an indication of how good Arcane is, they should be watching Arcane.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing. So hopefully this week I'll get to finish it and watch the last 3. I tell you what, though, I did not expect to see Vi and Jinx reunite at all. I didn't like the way things, like when they had their, at the end of Act 1, they had their reunion of sorts where they face off against each other and have this glorious fight. I was like, oh, this feels a bit early in the season for this kind of a face off, and then everything made sense when I was watching Act 2. I'm like, oh, okay, we're going down a different road even.
They were routing things up.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, brilliant storytelling. I want to know where the hell Jace was, and if Heimendinger and who was the other person that was with them?
Echo.
Echo. Yes, I want to know if Echo and Heimendinger are still alive. I'm sure they are. I doubt they would kill them off screen. Especially. Oh, Mike, don't look at me like that.
I'm just saying I know.
You know. Yes, you know, because you've seen... You finished it. You finished it. Hope so. Fingers crossed.
Surprisingly, I did finish it.
Yeah.
Because after that particular episode, I was almost done.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
I wanted to stop because that hurt me so much.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't blame
I
you.
knew she was going to do that because I could see context clues. It's like, why are you taking all that that hex balls?
Yeah.
And it's like putting it in little pouches. It's like, no, what's going on? and then the realization on her face is like, don't. And then I started bawling when she started running.
Yeah.
And it's like, don't you fucking do this. I had to go for a walk.
Yeah.
And top of it off, you actually made Vector say, don't touch my daughter. It's like, fuck you, TV show. I'm sick of torturing myself with TV shows.
I really hope the only qualm I have, and this is really a nitpick, really, before we move on, is just to say that I hope they give us, somehow manage to give us more Victor, even though, because we got him for 2 episodes. We got to see him, rise as this new, what me and my friends have dubbed Arcane Jesus.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, and then we see him in this episode as the head of this commune, and everyone he's touched. I love the touch, not to intend the pun there, but
you got the touch.
Like everyone he's touched has like beautiful little fingerprints, like etched into their forehead and stuff. I thought that was really lovely. But I hope we get more of him somehow, because it feels like a lot for them to just go, here he is, and now he's dead. Because they spent a lot of, unless was the whole point, because they spent so much time showing us what he can do and where he goes inside of his mind using the arcane that's in him and a part of him. yeah, I don't know. I just want to. I hope we get some more answers or some more appearances or something to do with Victor, but probably not. But,
Something will happen.
Something will happen. Good. Good. Speaking of things happening, let's get to the rest of the podcast, shall we?
Sure.
That's my weekly watching's done. We're going to skip right on through and roll on up to the trailer park.
Rolling up to the trailer park where we all park all the trailers. Yeah.
Okie dokie, trailer park time. We're going to kick things off with a little trailer teaser, if you will, for the upcoming Doctor Who Christmas special, which is called Joy to the World. Wonderful title. This looks fun. You know what? I watched this. I really am becoming a Whovian because I watched this trailer and I went, yes, give it to me now.
Please.
I will happily bask in Ncuti Gatwa's glow because, damn, I really like him as the Doctor. And I just like being a fan of this universe now. So it's just nice. It feels safe and warm and cozy. So
You're welcome.
yeah, thank you. thank you. Thank you both. Yes, so yeah, it's good. Yeah, this looks fun. We've got 2 Ncuti Gatwas going on here. It seems at least 2. I guess we've got some wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Yeah.
Yes, Fulya. Some timey wimey stuff going on here that looks really interesting. Sounds really interesting. I'm really curious, and yeah, I like especially. But then I also was like, oh, that's a burn when the Doctor says to himself like that. This is why you're alone and everyone leaves you and all that, like, and then they cut to an image of, you know, Ruby Sunday hugging him goodbye, and I'm like, fuck you, show. How dare you? But yeah, I am excited to meet Nicola Coughlan's character Joy. I haven't really engaged with any of her works. I haven't seen Dairy Girls. Haven't watched Bridgerton. She was in Barbie. I think she was in like one scene in Barbie.
Yeah, I think she was a lawyer or the judge.
Yeah, yeah, I think she was on maybe on the Supreme Court, maybe. I can't remember. But yeah, she's definitely in Barbie. And she, you know, seems to be beloved by a lot of people. Oh, I've also seen her in the Uber Eats ads that she's done. And she's very endearing. Very random. Yeah, so many people are doing those Uber Eats ads. They're good marketing, actually.
Did somebody say menu? Oh, wrong one.
But yeah, I'm excited to see what she can do in the Doctor Who world, and yeah, it just looks like fun, and I can't wait to get back in to some Who. Fulya, what did you think of this?
Yeah, it sounds like, yeah, like you said, it's going to be very, very timey-wimey with the Doctor sort of going in and out of past and present and future. I feel like this is going to be like a Christmas Carol, but with Doctor Who kind of a thing.
Maybe, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah, it's been done.
It's been done? Okay, well, maybe I'm wrong. But yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be a good fun time. We're going to be hitting the feels as per usual. And yeah, just like Ncuti Gatwa just doing his thing. It looks like it's going to be really great, and I can't wait.
Nice. Yes, we can't wait. That's well said. Okay, Mr. Michael Lister, what are your thoughts? What are your Whovian thoughts telling you here?
Well, Miss Kendall Richardson, say my full name. I'm not in trouble. Yeah, I liked it. It definitely got me intrigued. Going to a time travel hotel where every door leads to a different era in time, preferably Christmas. And yeah, joy to the world and joy to the worlds. That's
Mhm.
that's the thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, definitely going to be timey-wimey of the Doctor meeting himself. So it's a multiverse, multi-Doctor story, technically, maybe. And Stephen Moffat coming back to write a Christmas episode.
Yeah.
His last
That's
one
right.
was twice upon time or something.
Oh, was that a Capaldi
Yeah,
one?
it was
Okay.
a Christmas / last Peter Capaldi episode. With
Oh, was that the regeneration one?
yeah, that was his regeneration one where
Ah.
turned into Jodie, and yeah,
Yeah.
and the internet exploded. Whatever. Yeah. So yeah, Stephen Moffat coming back. We've been watching some Moffat stuff, which is cool. So what's going to be? What's it going to be?
What's it gonna be?
It's going to be good, bad, indifferent. And I have seen Dairy Girls, all the way through. That was a bit of fun. A period comedy dealing with teenage girls in the middle of the civil unrest between North Ireland and UK, basically. So yeah, so bit of political, but funny at the same time. And her character was hilarious. Just a basic worrywart, and just could say maybe an annoying character, but not egregious. Just a bit of fun, which is good. And yeah, she's been in the Barbie movie. So did Shooty. So
Yes, they both were.
yeah,
There you go.
it all rounds around in the Barbies. So
Yes.
when is this Christmas special coming out in Christmas?
Yes, well, depending on where you are in the world, but also time differences and whatnot, I'm just assuming that here in Australia we will be able to watch Joy to the World on Boxing Day, the 26th of December, but it looks like it's coming out in the UK on Christmas Day itself, so I don't know if that means, like, what time here it'll like whenever it's going to air there, what the time difference is to here. I don't know. So it could be the 25th or it could be the 26th. I didn't do the math.
We'll probably go.
What do you-
We'll probably go at like 7 o'clock in the morning, maybe on Boxing Day,
On Boxing Day? Okay.
something like that.
Boxing I figured Boxing Day was a safe bet. It'll definitely be out by then. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're only a couple of weeks away.
Sure.
Yay.
Very busy day.
Very busy day.
Doctor Who.
Yes,
Then Sonic. Then something else.
yeah. that's
Mufasa?
right.
Work.
Mufasa as well.
Work.
Yeah, I was gonna say work. Yeah, we're gonna be at work.
Mhm.
Dealing with work.
Coming
Cool.
home from
Next.
Canberra. Me.
Oh yeah, true.
Yes.
Fun times. All right. Enough about real life. Let's get back to things that are distracting us, like whatever the hell is gonna be with this movie. Of course, I'm talking about last week they dropped Snow White, the live action, the reimagined classic by Disney.
Before you say anything, you seem very not like you're not happy. You're very
I'm just-
indifferent, or
I'm just over these live action remakes, Fulya. I'm just over them. And and it's annoying because I really like Rachel Zegler a lot. I think she's so talented. Like, she was amazing in West Side Story. And she was very good in, what was the last thing I saw her in? The Hunger Games. She was awesome in the Hunger Games, the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, the prequel.
Yeah.
She was
And she's
very
in
good
that Y2K movie that's coming out.
Correct. Yeah, I can't wait to watch it.
Yeah.
So I feel, I want to support this movie for her because I feel bad for a lot of because a lot of the flack around this movie has been directed at her, and I think I think we maybe talked about this a while ago, but there was something she said in an interview that rubbed people the wrong way or something. I can't remember. It was a while ago now. I think this movie's been delayed a couple of times, and plus people are just like, she's not white, she's a person of color playing, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I mean, I get it. Skin white as snow is the whole thing, but like,
Could be just purity.
who
Yeah.
cares? Yeah, who cares? I
Her
think.
last name's White. You think Jack Black?
Yeah.
You think Jack is black?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's just, and plus reimagined classics. That's what they call them.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
yeah, so I want to support her. So that's fine. I'm also like, I'm not going to watch this movie, just straight up. I'm not going to. But I am curious to see what people will make and say of Gal Gadot as a villain like this. She's playing the evil queen. One thing I will say, big tick in the win column, she looks fucking excellent. I love her costuming and her crown, how it looked like stained glass.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome.
I mean, by looking at the movie poster itself and like the evil queen is sort of like there with the crown sort of pointing
Yes.
up. It's a very dark and ominous looking, very sharp crown too.
Yes.
So yeah, the design of the crown is really cool.
Yeah, it's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. So I really I appreciate the costuming in this film for sure. Whether or not she'll be able to pull off the performance, I feel like in the trailer what we see, some of it seems to be pretty good. I'm wondering if she's going to go into scenery chewing, mustache twirly, but I guess the evil queen in the original is very much that kind of archetype, stereotype of like the original evil queen.
Yeah, very vain.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. So that's curious, but I'm not sure. I'm not sold. Not sold yet. But yeah, and then the whole thing with the dwarves is just like, they're animated. They're not real. They're not real little people. I don't know. I'm not going to debate anything. That's not. I have no skin in that game. I'm not going to, get in on that. But it's just to speak to the whole thing of like, Mufasa and the Lion King being live action movies, and here we have animated. Anyway, whatever. They've made a choice, and that's fine. I hope it works. I hope the movie succeeds. I hope people enjoy it. I hope people have a good time. I'm just not gonna go see it because I'm done with this money-making scheme. You heard me, Disney. I'll watch everything else you put out, but I'll draw the line at this. You can only have so much of my blood on your contracts. Anyway, that was my middle-aged woman rant about Snow White. Jesus Christ, that went off the rails. Fulia.
Yes.
What did you think of this trailer?
Look, so when I watched the trailer, I was like, okay, cool. So it does look interesting. And it's not shot for shot the same as what the actual animated movie is, which is good.
Yes.
So they're kind of going in the right direction, in the sense that they're not doing just a literal, just a copy and paste but live action kind of a style thing. So I like that they're going in their own sort of way with the stories, with slight tweaks. I'm okay with it being Rachel Ziegler as the main protagonist, as Snow White. I don't honestly care who plays the character. The whole point of the character is her purity of heart, and just like how nice she is, but also very naive too. So we'll see how she plays the role. Plus the fact that it's going to be a bit of a musical with some songs happening, from what I could tell from the actual trailer as well. So there is going to be some singing. And yeah, so Gal Gadot is the evil queen. She's looking the part. She absolutely is like killing it in the way that she looks. From what we got from the trailer, she's it might be sort of a toned down, bit subtle kind of a villain from what I can tell, but maybe it's just from the scenes that we got. We didn't get anything else yet, so they're probably saving it for the actual film itself. So I'd like to actually see how Gal Gadot actually plays the evil queen. I am curious about that. The dwarves.
Tread lightly now.
I don't know. The CG animation for the dwarves was a little weird. It kind of took me out of it a bit when I was watching the trailer, and it felt like, I don't know, they look like bobblehead sort of characters, like massive heads. Like the proportion of their head to their body is a little strange to me. And their sizing, they're a bit more, I don't know. It's just the way that it looks in the trailer just looks a bit strange, and it kind of took me out when I was watching it, and I was like, I don't know how I feel about the dwarves, but I'm probably still going to end up watching it anyway, because that is me. I am that type of person. I'll go out of my way to watch mostly anything when it comes to Disney and, you know, adapting to live action. I'm just very curious, because this is a very old story, and no one's really touched the animated, like the 1937 animated movies for a very long time. So I am just very, very curious to see how they tell this story in live action form. So whether I see it in cinema or whether I actually watch it on Disney Plus, I don't know yet. But yeah, I'm curious. I'm just gonna put it that way. I'm curious. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
I'm like 5% of you're curious, but yes.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Fulya. That was great. Mike, I'm curious, speaking of, for your thoughts on the Snow White trailer. What did you make of it?
Well, don't be too curious, because I don't want to watch it. Something that we don't need. Cool that they've changed it up a bit to give Snow White a bit of character, bit of urgency to take back the kingdom. So changing it up a bit, but why? Not the original intent of the story. I'm going purity on this, but then why don't you make something different, like something new, something different? You don't need to go. You don't need to go back to the well. Essentially, this is an ad for the original cartoon, so go and watch that if you want. Which is a shame, because people in it have worked tirelessly for it. Yeah, double-edged sword. You want to support like the people involved, but you don't want to like give a free pass and say, "Hey, these are popular, so we need to make more." No. Do stuff that people want to see. If they're going to do a live-action versions of their cartoon style, I want Treasure Planet.
Yeah.
Atlantis.
Yes.
There we go.
And make it into a series. Black Cauldron.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make their flops, redo them, make them good, like you did with Percy Jackson. I still haven't seen the Percy Jacksons, but apparently
the show is very good.
It is very good.
Yeah.
So do that. People enjoy that.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they're going to keep on doing them until, I don't know, until they run out. which I think they're probably running out now. I think after Moana live action, where do they go from here? I think they're doing a live action Frozen, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how this Lilo and Stitch movie is gonna go, because that's the one that I.
Oh yeah, people are more
very-
more curious at that
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the main draw card is Stitch himself,
Yeah.
and a lot of people saying it's like, yeah, we've seen Stitch. Okay, I want to see the other aliens. See how you deal with them.
Yeah, exactly.
What was that?
Jumba and Pleakley.
I was going to say. I was. Nah, never mind. I was going to say Baba Yaga, but that's something
That's a
completely different. The witch. She's a witch. Speaking of witches, yeah, and I don't know. Probably the one thing that I liked in this one of the things I can clearly say I liked is the magic mirror, and they actually got the guy who does an impression of the guy that does that voice.
Yeah, Patrick Page.
Yeah, because he does the Haunted Mansion as well, like foolish mortals, all that. Yeah, and I like that. More of that, please.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I can't believe the magic mirror from Shrek had a cameo in this movie. I like that joke. Anyway, when is this coming out? That we're not going to say. Well, Fulya is going to say.
I might.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Well, maybe. Fulya may be watching Snow White when it drops in the cinema on the 20th of March next year.
Hey.
All right. Cool.
Just in time for Easter.
Just in time for Easter.
Great time.
I suppose. Yes. All right. Well, we got one more trailer to talk about.
Yes, and I will sit out for this one.
It's Fulya's sitting out of this one because none of this will make sense.
She's not up to date.
She's not up to date.
But you should watch it. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
No,
it's amazing.
good.
Great. Well, the one thing, obviously, what is it? CCXP, the Brazilian Comic Con has been happening over the past few days. A lot of stuff dropped. But the thing that Mike and I are going to talk about now was the season 3 trailer for Invincible.
Invisible. Splat.
Yes, I'm just really happy that we're getting season 3 so soon after the season 2, considering we had to wait ages for season 2 to come out. So that's really cool. Hopefully they didn't rush it.
I think they were starting to do it like straight after season 2 because they knew people wanted it, and
yeah, it's
popular enough to bank on to do.
It definitely. Oh, excuse me. It definitely is. It definitely is. Yeah, and a lot of us as well did not appreciate or like the massive and weird mid-season break that they did.
We're not having that.
We're not having that this time. I think they've learnt their lesson. Hopefully.
Get the fuck out of here.
But yeah, we're back in the Invincible world. Mark's younger half brother is on the scene. Oliver is his name, and we're gonna get to see some shenanigans from him by the looks of things, as he figures out the limit of his powers and what he should do and should not do, and so there's gonna be some delightful stuff ups, I'm sure. Cool to see Omni-Man, more of Omni-Man imprisoned with I forget Seth Rogen's character.
Kevin,
Bob? Evan. No, Evan's Evan Goldberg.
No, Kevin.
Kevin. Is it Kevin?
Kevin?
Anyway, whatever.
Kevin the alien?
Kevin the alien? Yeah, probably. Yeah. Seeing more of them is cool, and I'm excited to see what kind of arc Omni-Man goes on.
I don't want redemption.
I don't want a full redemption either. No. I feel like if the only way his story ends is in his death. I think he's got to die, and it has to be in some kind of. It's gonna have to be in some kind of redemptive way, but also in a way that doesn't fully redeem him, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want them to ham fist us with, we're gonna make him good. But like maybe at the 11th hour, he just makes the decision to be like, I'm just gonna have to sacrifice myself. I don't know. Maybe it's wishful thinking. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, whatever the hell's going on with Cecil and his clandestine operations. He has a white room to protect him from Mark. Okay.
Failsafe.
Yeah. Smart. But interesting how things are getting very complicated and convoluted, and who can you trust and who not to trust, and yeah. So it looks really, really good, and I'm super excited to watch more of this. Yeah, such a good show. What did you think of this trailer, Mike?
Yeah, I liked it. Seeing where everyone is, and the Cecil thing of having the failsafe reminds me a lot of Batman, where Batman does have a failsafe of any person in the Justice League going rogue. He knows how to defeat them. So
yeah,
and it's the quandary of, would you allow Batman being on your side if he knows how to take you down? Well, what happens if him goes rogue? What's going to happen there? It's like, but of course, Batman, being the arrogant prick that he is that saying, "Nah, I'm perfect. I'll be fine." Who looks after? Who sees over the police? It's like, more police. Like, Batman. Yeah.
Batman.
Can't wait for this. Because it's going to be all the way through, no mid break, which is stupid, weird, and and it's kind of ironic that we're watching the season of Doctor Who that has that.
Yeah.
Of a mid-season break of 6 months, I think. But the previous Invincible was only like I don't know, was it 4 months or something like that?
It was a while, yeah.
Yeah. Doing some catching up to do, and then a third one, and then fourth one. I'm still contemplating to actually read the books. Well, the comic books.
Mm-hmm.
But the omnibuses are like over like $200. It's like, wow, do I want to do this? Because I went to a couple of weeks ago. I went to Minotaur just to have a look. It's like, oh yeah, I could probably get I'll have a look at the physical copies. I was like, wow, that's a lot of money. It's a lot of money to get spoiled of what's going to happen. It's like, I don't know. Should I be ignorant about this? And I think I will. I think I will with this show, Invincible. I'm running out of steam. Where's this coming out, Kendall?
Invincible season 3 is not too far away. It's coming out next year on, wait for it, the 6th of February.
My birthday. My birthday.
Mike's birthday. Yeah.
One full rotation.
One full rotation, yes.
Complete.
Yeah. So exciting. Only 2 months from now. Let's fucking go. Cool. That's Trailer Park done. We're rolling on out, which means it's time for the moment.
Nice.
The section, the segment,
Water.
the part, the place, the spot, the thing, the grand position in the podcast that we like to call
Popcorn culture.
Yes.
Arg.
Arg. It's popcorn culture time, and we here to talk about Star Wars. Yes, we are.
Star Wars.
Finally.
There's
Whoa.
some new Star Wars on the scene. New show dropped last week. We've been waiting for this one for a while. Fulya says finally, very appropriately. Skeleton Crew has arrived. We are going to be talking about episodes 1 and 2 because they dropped them both last week. Episode 1 is called This Could Be a Real Adventure, and episode 2 is Way, Way Out Past the Barrier. Cool. Overall thoughts on both episodes. I think we'll just kind of not break them into two because
No.
I don't know. I feel like it might just be easier to just flow on a discussion with both of them together. Because it was a seamless kind of a binge. But overall on the show so far, I really like it. This is great. This is rad. I'm here for this kind of side of Star Wars. I wasn't expecting to enjoy it so much, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess it's been a while since we've had a Star Wars thing feel like this, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know, and it's certainly been a while since we've had such a pleasant surprise, in a Star Wars project. So yeah, so this is great. One of my friends messaged me. It was last week after he watched it, and he was like, "I never knew I needed Star Wars Goonies, but I'm so here for it." I agree. Definitely gave me some really good Goonies vibes.
Wait, what if Star Wars was directed by Steven Spielberg?
Yeah. Literally. Yeah. So that's quite fun. Yeah, I like. I need to get the name of the character so I can make this reference. Yes, Wim. Wim to me is Mikey from the Goonies crossed with Dennis the Menace. Like that's the vibe. Like he's so gun ho about adventure and let's go out there and explore and blah blah blah. But then he's also, I have to push the button. Like I must touch the thing. So he's a bit of fun. But yeah, all these kids are great. They're awesome. I'm enjoying watching them, and the story's really interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys think about where certain things are and how certain things might be playing out in this. But Fulia, what did you think of this overall? Did you enjoy the first 2 episodes? Oh.
It was a bit slow going for me.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Just to sort of go off what you just said, that it kind of reminded me of the Goonies. I've never watched the Goonies, so I don't have a sort of like a comparison kind of a thing going on. It just felt very slow for me, especially the first episode, and I think it was just more so maybe the characters' personalities were kind of rubbing me the wrong way a little bit. Especially, what's her name? Fern? Is it Fern? Yeah.
You don't like children?
I don't like bullies.
I don't care where they're from. Steve Rogers, 2011. Anyway. Or actually 1941, but we'll move on.
Yeah. So yeah, it was it was a little weird for me. The first episode didn't really hit me as much as I thought it would. I was getting distracted as well at the same time, so it didn't really grab my full attention to actually sit there and watch it properly. But by the end of the episode, and then going into the next episode, I was like, okay, they found something. The action's kind of picking up here. And then we get into it in the second episode. And yeah, I think the second episode got my attention a bit more than the first one. So yeah,
Fair.
overall, like, it was an okay start for me. But yeah, the second episode was an interesting one.
Cool. All right, I appreciate your honesty there, Fulya. That's it's good. It's good. Mike, what did you think of this?
It was a good change from normal, dare I say, normal Star Wars. It definitely has its own feel, which I like. It's like Andor had a different feel. It was like a different show, but with Star Wars coating of like sprinkled bits and pieces of it. And this is sort of the same. It's more like if Amberlin was doing Star Wars, of doing the adventure and the whimsical, and all of a sudden there's like stuff from Star Wars like floating around, and different stuff. Never seen suburbia in Star Wars, which is kind of cool, and we're delving right into like space pirates, which we've only had like bits and pieces from different different areas from Star Wars, like what's it called? What's the second TV show?
Andor?
No, it was the cartoon. It was
Rebels.
Rebels, where they deal with more like pirates, and that one episode of Mandalorian where the space pirates came in and they were all gung ho. And yeah, I'm a big fan of pirates. Always has been since I was a kid. And if I was a 10-year-old again, I would eat this up in a heartbeat. Because it's just right in my wheelhouse as a kid. And yeah, and I don't mind like child bullies, because you know there's going to be a turn, and they're going to mellow out, because stuff's happening at home, and they won't stay bullies for long. They'll find themselves. It's a coming of age. So I'm all for that. So yeah, it was great. But one particular thing sort of went, really? We're doing that? I'll save that for later.
Yeah, I think I know what you're gonna. I think I know what that is.
Please.
Yes.
Hey?
All right.
Hey, what?
Hey, what?
What?
Okay, so one of the things Mike just mentioned, the Star Wars and suburbia thing, and that kind of really, I remember watching the first trailer for this and going, I don't know if I want that. And I'm kind of okay with it and on board with the way they did it, mostly because I feel like this show has done some really cool world building in its first episode of setting up what like the average person who lives a planet in the quote unquote peacetime following the fall of the empire, what life would be like, what's school like, what's public transport like, what's what are the living situations, and it kind of makes sense for them to kind of have it be modeled after our own suburbia, I guess. So I thought that was pretty fun. I liked that. And then the other thing I found really interesting too, and really harsh, was just like the fact that these kids, they're probably like 10, and they're like, you have to have the assessment now for what you're going to do for the rest of your life. And on one hand, I'm like, I guess it could work in this because it's Star Wars. And these humans in Star Wars are a lot smarter than probably what we are, because I know it's a long time ago, but it's like the civilization's so advanced, therefore the average intelligence would naturally just be higher. So that kind of makes sense. But I was also like, this is just so much pressure to put on some young kids. But then the other token with the education thing here, I feel like there's something nefarious going on
Hmm.
because that chick Farah was talking about. It might have been her, or it was one of the other examiners. Was like, this is the way you play in the what did she say? The great something like. The great work, yeah, it was the great work was the phrase. And I'm like, that sounds cultish.
The
I don't
greater
know.
good.
The greater good. So something, yeah, I can't put my finger on it, but there's definitely, and as we'll talk about, with some other stuff we'll get to, but I feel like there's definitely something not completely on the level with this planet, and what's going on. So, but yeah, I kind of liked a lot of the suburbia sort of sequences. Fulya, what did you feel about seeing stuff that we're kind of used to as our life experience, but like interpreted in a Star Wars kind of way? What did you think of that stuff?
I was a bit bored, to be honest. I just like I already see this in in TV shows that we see all the time. Like
that's kind of why I was a bit iffy on it when the trailer dropped, I will say, but I don't know, I kind of appreciated the world building they put into it, but
was
you
cool.
didn't see it that way.
It was cool to see the different like gadgets and the way their houses were built, and like the architecture and also the types of vehicles they had. That was interesting, and obviously a school bus is being driven by a droid. Like, come on, that makes sense too. But it really didn't pull me into the world as much.
Okay.
And I think
fair.
that was also the reason why I got a bit distracted and not really watched it much while I was sitting there with it on, and I was just like, yeah, okay. And then I'm like just scrolling through my phone at the same time.
That's fair.
No.
After seeing the landscape, it was like, you know what? I feel like watching E.T. for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it didn't, like I said, this really didn't grab me, but the moments where there were like little bits of action, or if whenever Wim was getting into trouble for whatever reason, I turned my attention to that at points, but then I was like, okay, I'll go. Yeah, I don't know, I just the world, I don't know, I'll keep watching it, but I feel like
that's good.
If it doesn't get any better, I feel like I'm gonna drop off pretty quick.
I'm out.
Oh no. You've been put on notice, Star Wars.
Yes, Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. Oh shit.
Mm.
All right. Well, Mike, how did the mundane stuff, I think is a good word for it. How did the mundane of this show so far work for you?
Yeah, it was odd. I'll admit that it was quite odd, and
yeah,
it's something is like, this is not Tatooine, this is not Coruscant. This is something that we haven't seen before, but it's familiar at the same time, which is basically Star Wars in a nutshell. And where it was going was like, school kids. It's like, okay, I get it. Where's it going? But I'm so glad they only did it for one episode, because otherwise it would get tiring pretty quickly. And yeah, it did. And where to go from here? Shall we talk about the kids?
Yes. I was going to bring up the kids next. Very well pointed out, spotted, said. Yes, the kids, our core group of kids we're now going to be spending the rest of the show with.
The quad.
Yes, Wim and Neil. I love the two of them as buddies. Wim is clearly, like I said before, the adventurous, mischievous without intending to be mischievous, just can't help himself. Has like an itch he has to scratch, just has to, I like the fact that he kind of, I mean, not that people should idolize Jedi, but I like the fact that he finds them so fantastical and like you know, like that's really cool. That's really
The
sweet.
kid has a dream.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really kind of lovely. And how that kind of drives him throughout the course of these 2 episodes and probably the rest of the show. Now that we, have met potentially one. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, and so I do enjoy Wim. But in the second episode, he kind of fell a little more on the back burner, I guess. Like he's still, he kind of was our introduction. I feel like he was the main character in episode 1, and then episode 2, I feel like it kind of maybe shifted a little bit, but which is fine. It's an ensemble cast. It doesn't really matter too much. Neil is great. The whatever practical and VFX work they're doing with this kid is really excellent.
It's a good mixture of both, and you don't see the seams, which is very good.
Yeah, they've done a very good job. He looks great, and he has my heart, young Neil. And then we have the girls, and as Fulya said earlier, we don't like bullies. And Fern's not great. Fern is not great, but like Mike said, Fern's gonna go on a journey, and she'll be taken down a couple of pegs. I really like the actress though, Ryan Kira Armstrong. I've seen her in a couple of things. She was in a really interesting half season. It was weird of American Horror Story. She was in a portion of episodes of American Horror Story. That was really, really cool actually, and she was really good in that. And then she also played Charlie in the Firestarter remake. That you don't really need to watch, but it exists if you so choose. But she was good.
Oh.
Yeah.
She's grown up a little bit.
She has grown up a little, because the whole time I was like, I know your face from something. And I couldn't put my bloody finger on it. And so, and then I saw her name in the credits. I was like, of course.
She had a growth spurt.
She had a growth spurt. I kind of like her confidence, though. She's all bark and no bite at this point. And it's going to bite her, and it is going to bite her in the ass eventually. And it kind of already has, but I do like the way she was able to use her confidence to talk down the droid, SM-33, and convince him to let her be captain. That was pretty cool for someone as young as she is. But yeah, all the early stuff in at the end of episode 1 where they're digging up the ship, and she's a bit mean. And even KB says, like, you're being really rude to them. Like, you need to stop.
Calm your shit.
Calm your shit. So on KB, I like her as like this sort of, level-headed one, I suppose, because she has this, droid part thing. Like, she reminds me of the dude from Empire Strikes Back. What's his name? Lando's assistant. You know what I'm talking about. I forget I know his name because Kevin Smith says his name all the time on fucking any podcast he talks about Star Wars. And I forget because he loves him. Lobot. I remembered. Lobot. But yeah, I like the cool thing that she has, and her hair's pretty cool.
Cyber augmentation.
Augmentation, thank you. Yes, that's the word I needed.
Shayberg.
Yeah, Shayberg. So she's cool. So yeah, I mean, so each character in these 4 key players of this little, Star Wars Goonies, they're all a little bit different than the last, and I'm more excited after watching the second episode to see where they're all gonna go. After episode 1, I was like, okay, we're going on a journey with these characters, and I don't like them all yet. And after the second episode, I was like, okay, I can get used to this. I can keep going with this. I don't even know if Mike just coughed or was trying not to laugh.
I did a little chuckle. It was like, I don't like these. I don't like these characters.
Oh boy.
Well, you did your job wrong, TV show.
But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to enjoy my time with these guys. Fulya, you've already spoken a little bit on Fern. What did you make of the other kids in the show?
Yeah, look, Wim just seems like one of those kids that has this, like, this dream of wanting to be a Jedi and just wants to go out exploring, and one of those kids that's very carefree but also still afraid of their father a little bit as well at the same time, but then ends up just breaking all the rules anyway. So bit of a rebel complex, I think.
Rebel.
From this kid. Yeah, bit of a rebel. And yeah, I don't know, like Wim. Yeah, look, I don't think he's got the. He doesn't seem like the main lead protagonist in this show, from what I've seen so far. At least that's kind of what I'm feeling from the first couple of episodes. He just seems a bit like whiny and just the average kid of wanting to do things that he's never allowed to do, you know? It's like, don't touch this, don't touch that. I wasn't gonna. And then proceeds to do it anyway. So, KB, yes, she's pretty cool. Like you said, level-headed. Kind of the conscience on, you know, behind Fern's back and stuff. So, Neil, very cute. I love the I don't know what species of alien is he. I'm not quite sure.
Ooh,
New one.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking sort of elephant style with the little trunk happening and blue. So little blue elephant alien. It's really cute. And yeah, Neil kind of more the scared type, doesn't want to break the rules, is very shy by the sounds of things, but he still has his own little imagination, playing like a Jedi and all that sort of stuff, and pretending to die with his guts spilling out, and that was kind of cute.
That was adorable.
Yeah.
That's real kid play.
That really is.
Crocodile bit my head off and my body went that way and my head went that way.
Yeah.
Believe me, the stuff that kids come up with is like, oh, where did you get that from?
Yeah, I know.
Because I didn't. It's just kids having play. It's fine.
Yeah. So, yeah, I've got mixed feelings about the kids, but I don't know. It's still only it's early days, and there's still like more to come. So we'll see how we go, and yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to quickly chime in before I throw it to Mike. Yeah, I thought that Neil's species was the same as Max Rebo, which is the Ortolan species. But no, this is, yeah, like you said, Mike, it's actually an original species to this show. So that's cool. More world building, more aliens. The alien design in the show is great. Maybe we'll talk about it, but I liked what I saw in episode 2.
Practical shit is good.
So good. Thank you, Lucasfilm. If you can get anything right, it's that. Mike, what did you make of our little space Goonies here? What do you think?
I like them. For a kid ensemble.
Yeah.
Like, bearing in mind, probably at the end of the show, is like they probably overstayed their welcome because, you know, kid actors usually do. It's like, oh, shut up. And I can probably see where their characters are sort of maybe going, like Neil's probably going to be a bit more brave and you know, and all the rest. And Neil, yeah, Neil's cute, but I want to see Neil in a Hawaiian shirt for some reason. You know, doing the truffle shuffle. You know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is the exact comparison I had in my head.
Yeah. And
she's chunk.
Well, Wim's great because a lot of kids when they can probably see themselves as like not doing too well at school and always distracted by things, and it is like a learning difficulty like allegory in this as well, maybe ADD, maybe, and it's just the added. You need to do well at school, or else you'll fail and become a druggie, and you know the normal thing that we instill kids in. You know, we need to put in that pressure so their soul can be like crushed into adulthood, and you know where you just 9 to 5 job. You're a cog in the wheel of capitalism. Yay. Anyway, yeah, I find them great. They're not grueling at the moment, and hopefully they'll just keep the level playing field of just having fun. And this is what this show should do. Like just have fun with it, and just like kids like exploring like the world of like Star Wars. So I kind of like that being the main crux of this show, of these sheltered kids from a planet that probably turns out to be like El Dorado or something like along those lines.
Yeah.
Of them going into the real world, and all of a sudden they learn the truth about stuff, and then and we find out that this planet is the reason why Palpatine has returned. I don't know.
Yes, gotta make that relevant somehow. Yeah. Just one final note on the kids. I just remembered something I wanted to say when I watched the episode. The ending of episode 1, when they get up in the ship and they get up past the barriers as they're talking about, and they're out in space, and they have this beautiful moment of like they see all the stars, but then like not all of them know that they're stars. They're like, are these, you know, so many like planets? What, you know, are they planets? And like KB's like, no, they're stars. And then there's one of them says a line about, you know, I didn't know there were so many. And then out of like, and that's just beautiful in and on itself, of just like these kids having this wondrous realization of holy crap. And the camera cuts to this beautiful wide shot of just the ship towards the bottom, and then just this sea of like silver specks, and it's just gorgeous. I loved that.
I think that line is probably going to do a lot of heavy lifting with the reveal.
Yeah, maybe. But then then to go from that and then into a moment of comedy, sort of, I suppose, when the hyperspace, the hyperdrive kicks in, and these kids experience hyperspace travel for the first time, and they just scream because they've got like no idea. And here we are watching this, and it's like so mundane for us as Star Wars fans. Like, oh yeah, they're going through hyperspace, it's fine. No, this is the first time these kids are experiencing this, and it's the most horrifying thing. They're like, are we gonna die? Like,
They've never been on a starship before. What the
no,
hell?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like Captain America. It's like,
Yeah.
which one of
Yeah.
you have never been in space before?
Yeah. So this is going to be, this is probably going to be a bit of a fish out of water show, maybe, as well. But yeah, I love that, just that way episode 1 ended. I just on the kids while we're talking about them, I thought that was cool.
And I like
cool.
the sort of touch of when the ship blasts off. But it's probably in the second one. But when it blasts off, and we see it blast off, there's like there's still like debris just coming off it in space, just dust.
Just dust. Yeah.
I like that added bonus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, well, before we get into some of this stuff in episode 2, the start of episode 1 had a bit of a prologue, where we had some setup with, as Mike mentioned earlier, space pirates. And we even get in, there's like a sort of it's not really an opening crawl, but it's very much a like, here's some sentences written in light blue on a star background. Very Star Wars. And yeah, and we, you know, that's when we find out what time period we're in. But then, like, that despite the New Republic apparently being in control, piracy is at an all-time high. And so then we get to see that in action. And I thought it was really cool. But I don't know if they maybe went too far on the pirate thing. Like it felt very Pirates of the Caribbean, but in space, and that's fine, I guess. I mean, pirates are fun. Who doesn't love pirates? But yeah, I don't know. But then the other thing I found really interesting that the show decided to do, it was like, here's the captain, who's totally not Jude Law, but he's actually Jude Law, guys. Like, it's so obvious.
What are you talking about? What?
Like they barely hid his voice with whatever voice alteration they did. Like, he has the same fucking cadence and manner of speaking. Or yeah, anyway. So but like, whatever show, like, that's fine. Like, this,
he had his own like take on the character, even if it was still English.
yeah. But I mean, I like this captain guy, and I'm glad it's Jude Law. But like,
Yes.
yeah.
You'll be eating your words.
Yeah. But I just thought it was interesting that the show, I don't know if it's just because speaking for myself, I'm a seasoned viewer of the genre and just can recognize tropes and cliches and things, and little, we're gonna come back to this later thing, like, well, it's Jude Law. So I don't know if they've just been lazy about it, or they're trying to make it for, maybe this is aimed more at younger kids because kids are our main characters. It's a PG Star Wars show. Maybe they're just like, wouldn't it be cool if we reveal later on that Jude Law is the pirate from the beginning of episode 1, and he's also a Jedi / Force sensitive? I don't know.
Wait,
I have a lot of questions.
Star Wars was never meant for kids.
No? Are you sure?
As I grew up, Star Wars grew up. And that's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Wonderful.
It started before we were alive, and it will keep on going after we're dead.
Yes. Forever and ever. But yeah, I like the action at the start too, I will say. It's a cool way to kick off the show. Just seeing this ship come in, and like we see so often as a setup shot in Star Wars where a ship will fly into the space that we've just been reading text on. But just to see like this ship just, we know it's clearly in peril, but then suddenly, bam, it just gets, shanked. Like by this bigger ship,
It gets boarded.
It gets boarded, yes. It sure does. Yeah. So it was fun. It was fun. I liked the pirate setup. Fulya, do you have anything to comment on the intro? I know you said the rest of the episode didn't really work for you, but did the intro to the space pirates kind of give you any good vibes?
Yeah, the intro to the first episode was interesting. As it was all happening, I'm like, okay, so obviously there's going to be some evil stuff going on. And yeah, I think that stuff, like the action that happened to begin with, had me a little bit intrigued, but then once that was all done and it kicked into the kids side of things, that's when it lost me. So yeah, it was good to say the least, but yeah, I don't know if it really sort of pushed forward my interest for the rest of the episode, unfortunately. But it was nice to at least hear Jude Law, because man, oh man. Hello.
Hello.
And you are muted, Kendall.
Hello. It's that time of the night where Kendall forgets she's muted herself. Yes. Jude Law, yes. Mm-hmm. We're very happy, aren't we, Fulya? Yep.
Yes, we are. Respectfully.
Respectfully. Very happy. Mike, what are your thoughts on the space pirates and how they were introduced here?
I love pirates and space.
Yeah.
It got me right in the wheelhouse. It's like, yeah, board them, and plunder and pillage. I love it, and it's in my Star Wars. I liked it. I really, really enjoyed it, and yeah, and just seeing seeing like aliens with eye patches is kind of a thrill, as well as bringing back like some lore, like the big Wolfman pirate guy. He's awesome. If you don't know the story, like the original Star Wars cantina started with just a guy in a Halloween Wolfman face, and then in the special editions they actually cut him out because he looks ridiculous. We need more aliens, and they did that, so he didn't come back until I want to say Force Awakens, where they did that sort of homage to the cantina, but it's that space. Like the area's got all the aliens, so they did like a one shot throughout the entire thing, and they actually followed a guy in a Halloween werewolf mask just to bring it back. And
Nice.
in this one, they made him extra cool because he's a fucking pirate. It's like I want to get him on a poster. It's like, yes, he's awesome. He's the epitome of cool. and he'll probably die. Unfortunately. Yeah, and more aliens, please. And Jude Law? I don't know. I'm going to be the naysayer and say, I don't know, it's probably someone else. I don't know. Here in this time period. Maybe it's Han Solo.
Nah.
It'll be a younger Harrison Ford.
God.
It'll be the Han Solo from the Solo movie.
Alden Ehrenreich, let's bring him back. Let's bring him back. Give him another chance. He was good.
One more time.
Cool. Well, speaking of aliens and stuff, episode 2 pretty much takes place completely in this spaceport. And we get to see a lot of really cool aliens I alluded to earlier, like, a lot of the practical effect work that they're doing is quite good. I like the little ferryman, the little dude that, like, I want money, give me money, and like was just perched on Fern's shoulder, asking for credits.
Little rat
he was
bastard.
kind of cool, little rat bastard. And then, but for me, out of all the creatures and aliens that they showed in this episode, I'm the only person that I know that's going to be excited about this, unless you talk to other fans.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, other fans of Michael Jackson. Because in this episode, in this spaceport, you probably noticed them. There's these gorgeous orange, kind of fluffy winged aliens in cages. At one point, that is a creature that was featured in a movie, a short movie, I suppose, called Captain EO, that was actually featured at either Disneyland or Disney World. I don't know if it played at both, but it was a movie made for the parks, starring Michael Jackson as Captain EO. And Angelica Houston was in it, and it was written by George Lucas. And it was directed by Francis Ford Coppola. It was this huge thing. I've seen it maybe once or twice, like pirated copies on the internet. They've never released it on DVD or anything. And I don't think it's playing in any of the parks anymore. But yeah, this character, this little thing, he's called Fuzzball in the Captain EO movie. And yeah, seeing Fuzzball's race featured here, it means Michael Jackson is canonically a part of the Star Wars universe now. So
Laugh it up.
I laugh it off, Fuzzball. I'm pretty chuffed with that. I'll take that. Thank you very much, Lucasfilm, for making Captain EO Star Wars canon. Yes, Michael.
I got one that I
Yeah.
really enjoyed from the previous episode.
Yeah, go.
When the little kids, Neil's younger siblings, are watching a hologram of
Yes.
people dancing, and that's straight from the Star Wars holiday special.
Is it really?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
exact same
Okay.
people as well.
That's so cool.
So,
Okay.
so that would mean
The holiday special is canon.
the holiday special is canon, as well as they have the footage to actually use that.
Do that. Yeah.
They can still release the holiday special because they have it
Yeah.
in their archives. Deep.
We will watch it. Yeah, we will watch it. We don't care how good or bad it is. We want 70s Star Wars untouched by
Yes.
500 remastered, rejumbled editions with McClunky. Okay,
Yeah.
we want the original.
It was a
holiday
B. Arthur
special.
Singh.
Yeah.
Harvey Korman doing an impression of Oliver Child or whatever her name is.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we need that. We need that.
With
So,
subtitles
yes.
for the Wookiees.
Well pointed out, Mike. That's awesome. I didn't realize that. I was like, that's a very. I'm glad that is actually something. And I'm like, they didn't make that up. No, they've actually pulled that and
Yeah.
put that in there. That's great.
Because I recently watched the
yeah.
documentary as a
Yes, you did.
disturbance in the Force.
Yes. I need to watch that.
Yeah.
I need to watch
Somehow.
that. Somehow, life finds a way. In these things. Yeah. But yeah, there's a lot of action going on in the spaceport. The pirates are very much getting onto these, very sticking out like a sore thumb kids pretty quick, and they're trying to swindle them. They're trying to steal their credits. And the kids are just really
Credits that they've never seen before.
credits that they've never seen before. And as we've mentioned already, a planet that they think is just a myth, which might be my favorite thing that they've mentioned so far. The idea of, and I talked about it earlier, about the idea of something not being right on the planet. What's it bloody called? It's at something.
At.
Something like that.
At Aten, yes.
At Aten, yeah.
At
See, I was
Aten.
right.
Yes, very close.
At
Yes.
Aten.
At Aten. Yeah, that was probably my favorite thing in this whole episode. Was the fact that these kids have, we've said, they're sheltered kids clearly. But the fact that our main characters are from somewhere that everyone else thinks is a myth, I think that's pretty damn interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see how that unpacks. Fulya, do you have any thoughts on that? What did you make of the way things played out as the kids were running amok in the spaceport?
They're definitely out of their elements. They have no idea what the hell's going on. They're very naive, no matter how confident they think they are. But kids will be kids, and they will always exude a lot of confidence regardless. So yeah, the fact that, like I said before with Wim, he just likes little adventures, and he doesn't care. He really doesn't. And that's kind of the thing that I don't like about kids. They just sometimes they don't listen.
Yes.
They don't.
They don't listen to reason. They just like, oh, that can't be that bad. Let me just go over here. Anyway, so yeah, there's that, and then Fern just trying to be her, trying to be more confident and being like just her usual bully self, but trying to get her way wherever she can. But the fact that they're also realizing they're in a space that they shouldn't be. Like, why did SM-33 bring him to this port full of pirates?
Yeah.
Because the moment they start asking for directions to get back, and they're like, you got to be kidding, that's not a thing. Don't make me laugh kind of a situation. And then, Wim's out there flaunting his credits and trying to pay, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this kid's got more like credits that we've never seen before. We need to see if he's got more. Let's get him to pay more. And yeah, just this whole havoc of thing. But I think the one thing that I really loved from being at this port was the rescue from SM-33.
Yeah, it was great.
Just charging right in. It's like, nobody hurts my captain.
Yeah. It was cool.
That was great. Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Should we talk about Shmi?
Might as well be.
Oh my god, the name!
Yes.
Oh.
There it is. Yep, there it is.
Why did that take me so long to realize?
He said it. I saw the name. I'm like, yeah, that checks out.
Oh, that's
brilliant.
That's good. That's good. I see you, John Watts. I see you. Nice.
Nick Frost doing a great job. By
Yeah.
the way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like SM-33 as the droid of this show. Yeah,
One
how he
eye, the missing with the little rat thing keeps popping in and out.
it's like it's a droid really that we've never, like a take on a droid we've never really seen before.
No. Broken down.
Yeah. And just so badass too.
It's like it got this like hunchback sort of a thing happening.
Peg leg.
Yeah, peg leg.
Yeah.
Full pirate mode.
Full pirate mode.
You could say that. You could say the little rat thing is like a parrot on his shoulder, sort of thing.
Yeah.
I love pirates.
I love pirates.
This is the reason why I want to see Treasure Planet.
Yeah. Yes. Do it, Disney. We dare you.
Yeah.
We dare you. Mike, do you have any thoughts on the towards the end of episode 2?
Oh yeah, it was great. I like a good action, and also just Shmi doing all Indiana Jones styles, like fucking take on me.
Yeah.
It's like, I can see why the kids need this character until they don't. So hopefully
Until they don't.
I hope SM-33 comes back. It's such a cool character not to.
Yeah, I feel like he'll hang around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of hanging around, the ending of the episode, our setup for the story going forward. The kids are locked in the brig in typical pirate fashion.
What's a brig?
So cute. Yes, and then there's somebody in there with them, and it's our mate, not Jude Law, that is actually Jude Law. From the start of the first episode.
Jude Law, not Jude Law.
Jude Law is not Jude Law. Yes. So he's here. In being very like hobbly, old hermity. It feels very old Ben Kenobi. A little, like not clearly not exactly, but like it has that kind of vibe to me. But I feel like it's all an act. I don't buy it. Clearly he's force sensitive. Because we saw him lift the keys and bring them in. he used the Force, so he's Force sensitive. Whether or not he's a Jedi remains in question. All I have to say is, if you hurt Wim, you fuck, I will come for you. Because I do not want to see this. I do not want to see. I love Jude Law. I don't want to see this kid who's all he's wanted is to be, or to, like, he's idolized the Jedi his whole childhood, and then he meets one, and everything goes to shit. I mean, that might be the crux of his character arc of, like, I'm gonna take myself back a peg now, and not, because the thing is, Wim's either gonna get really awesome and being like this really endearing little, like, mini me to Jude Law's whoever, but, like, he's probably just gonna get more annoying now that there's an actual Jedi around. So I'm curious how that goes, but I just hope he doesn't get screwed over too badly. But we'll see. I don't know. Jude Law's, I don't trust him. But I'm excited to see where the story's gonna go. I think he's just using these kids to get out.
Yeah.
Really. But then again, if he could have grabbed the key the whole time, he could have let himself out. So it all just feels like a trap. I don't know. It's a trap. It's very, Star Wars.
Much. Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the ending. Fulya, what did you make of the ending sequence and what it looks like it's setting up going forward?
Yeah, look, I feel like Jude Law's character, which, by the way, his name is Jodnan Nawood.
Okay.
According
Jodnan
to
Nawood.
IMDb.
Right.
Fleshy.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So I understand how you're feeling about not wanting to trust him.
Yeah.
He's definitely giving off that vibe to me as well, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling he's going to be using these kids to find his way onto their planet to go off on his own little treasure hunt to find the mystical credits.
Yeah.
The treasure of this planet that everybody keeps saying is so mystical and mythical.
Mm-hmm.
Because, he says that, I'll help you, but the one thing I want you to do is have me go with you, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't trust him either, but I have a feeling he's also gonna have his own little arc of turning better, like getting better as well.
Yeah.
So, that remains to be seen. However, I could be wrong, and then he just, ends up using them just to get to the treasure, and then that's his, and then whatever happens to him, that's his demise, and he dies. But I'm hoping that he's not technically a Jedi. Like, even though he's Force sensitive, I hope that they don't just turn it around and say that he is one, or that he used to be one, kind of similar to the Ahsoka thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I want this show to not go in the Jedi direction.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
I kind of like how some of the Star Wars shows that we've had so far, some of them don't really talk about the Jedi. Like Andor. Andor's a really good example of that, and I absolutely loved it for that reason, because it was so different and they didn't touch on things that we've already seen so many times before. So in this show, even though he's Force sensitive, his character's Force sensitive, I hope it doesn't turn into the whole, he used to be a Jedi, or he can become one kind of a situation. I don't know. That's just my thought. But yeah, I don't trust him for now. And like, anything could happen, and kids are naive. They'll believe anything almost. Some are smarter than others, but we'll see what happens. Like, this is still only the first couple of episodes. We've still got the rest of the season to go, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true. 6 episodes left. We'll see. Mike, before we finish up, what are your final thoughts here about the introduction of Jude Law's character here.
Yeah, this is the bit where I was sort of going, really?
Yeah, I knew it.
I'm sort of the same as you, Fulya, that I didn't need like Jedi stuff. I was hoping for like, you know, quasi, not quite Jedi things, but it can go either way. I was hoping for it to be like well, with the relationship that he's probably going to have with Wim. I'm thinking like a Terminator 2 sort of thing where like learning about each other, and there's like just annoying kids saying, "Oh, you're a Jedi." I'm not a Jedi. Maybe if he comes out and says, "I'm not a Jedi," I just do this trick that I learnt myself, and the mystery is where does he come from? Is he part of the resistance or anything like that? I don't know. Is to be seen. So the mystery is there. Yeah. I was hoping for something else, but we're getting this, and I'm curious to know where this is going, because I was enjoying it up to this point, and I'm coming to terms maybe it'll follow this route, or they're gonna go completely shit the bed, and all of a sudden he's the clone of Palpatine who's on the run, and he finds a woman, and then they have Rey, and I don't know. Don't know.
Man.
Don't know.
No, let's hope it's not that. We don't need any connections to the Skywalker saga.
Well, he has a British accent, so that's one thing. Is he related to Palpatine? Is he related to Obi-Wan? Maybe it's Obi-Wan's long-lost brother. Now I'm just spitballing.
Maybe.
I
Now
don't-
we're just
I don't want it. I don't want it, thank you.
No thanks. No, we're good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm all done with my thoughts. What about you guys? Any final words? Anything you want to touch on before we wrap up?
Yep, I learnt the name of the werewolf gun-toting pirate guy. Such a cool name, Brutus.
Brutus.
Fuck yeah.
Et tu, Brutus?
He ate too many Brutus. Yeah, Pirate Captain Brutus.
Yeah, that's sick.
Looking like Wolverine.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty badass. Yeah. We're going to be seeing a lot more of him, I think.
Cosplay.
Cosplay is going to be wild.
Oh, that's gonna be insane.
It's going to be really cool. Yeah. Really, really, really cool. All right. That's it.
Yeah.
We're done.
Enjoyment for the next one coming up.
Yes. Let's see where it goes. Cool. So that's Popcorn Culture. That's our thoughts on Skeleton Crew episodes 1 and 2. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I definitely did. That was a great discussion.
Yes.
I very much enjoyed. Wonderful. Okay. So before we head on out, I believe I may have a plug.
Ooh.
You do?
Yes, I do have a plug.
I haven't
Like
heard
a
it.
wait.
Oh, you haven't listened yet?
No, I've been busy.
Okay.
Sorry.
You've been very busy. You've been very busy. Yes, so Wayne and I got back together recently for a podcast, and we, for the 50th anniversary, we watched and reviewed The Towering Inferno.
Ooh.
Yes.
Enlighten me.
Yeah. Yeah, so, we've done Poseidon Adventure, now we're at Towering Inferno time. And you can go check out our thoughts on that right now over on the podcast feeds, which we will plug momentarily. But yes, I was very happy to finally see this iconic movie. It was excellent. We had a really great conversation, a great chat about it as well. Yes. So I won't say anything. Just go listen to what we think
Yes.
of it. And we're going to be continuing our disaster movie series now. This is a new series we're doing. We still haven't finished Fearsome Friday, but that's going to go on forever. But we're doing disaster movies, so yeah, stay tuned for more from the Fred Watch front with Wayne and I. So.
Was it good or was it a disaster?
Yes. Yes, listen and find out. Cool. But yeah, that's all the pod we have to pod then, I guess. We're done. Sweet. A 1, a 2, a 3. And that was a podcast called Fred. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter for the latest Fred content.
If you'd like to listen to Fred the Alien, you can find us on SoundCloud, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts.
If you'd like to watch Fred the Alien, you can head over to youtube.com/Fred the Alien Productions. And if you're watching us right now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of future goodness. And if you're watching us live over on Twitch, make sure to hit the follow button on the way out to twitch.tv/Fred the Alien Twitch.
Yes, I've been a Kendall Richardson.
I've been a Fulya and Michael.
And I've been a man with a new haircut, a Michael Lister.
And
you just experienced a podcast called Fred. Transition.
Remember to eat beef.
Remember, Freddy lives, Loki dies, the Doctor is in, and it's a space pirate life for me. Hey.
Hey.
Yo-ho. Yeah-hey.
Make sure to look after yourself and your mental health, everyone.
Yes, please do. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Gators.